It's the MythWits, a geek pop culture web series, broadcast live for video and audio podcasts. Watch us live at MythWits.com and find us on YouTube and iTunes, bringing you news and reviews about geek pop culture. We have comedy skits, play nerd-tastic games, and provide extensive on-location con coverage.
How's it going, guys? It's Brian and Nick with the MythWits here with Caitlin Glass.
Hi!
So how have you been enjoying the con so far?
It's been great. We're having lots of fun.
We've been having lots of fun too.
Glad to hear it.
We've been having some really interesting moments like Kyle and this whole scenario with this equipment. In this segment, usually we just do something we call talking nutrition. It's just a real casual, like coffee talk. And so I was always kind of curious when I saw you work with Fullmetal Alchemist. I always like to know what, as an acting student myself, I always like to know a lot of actors' creative processes when it comes to making the right decisions when they choose their roles and when they give life to these characters. What's kind of your method when it came to characters like Green and of course when you first
You know, it's weird that this type of job is not the kind of thing where you can go home and you sit there with a script and you read over it and you're imagining things and you're digging.
It's not like theater or film.
It's really not. So the process for me is I show up and do what the director says.
You can't go wrong.
I mean, really, you show up and you watch the scene you're about to do, and really, it's kind of already dictated for you. Like, yes, you have to be able to bring it to life with your voice, and yes, that's a skill. But really, everything that you need to know about what the voice needs to be doing, you can see it on the screen. So the process is pay attention and do that, but in English.
I completely understand. I recently, I think a couple weeks ago, I had a couple auditions at Fullmetal not too long ago.
Oh, congratulations!
Slowly and quickly learning, you gotta copy your director, so I have to multitask, and it was a lot of fun. I recently listened to the Journey for the engineer.
Oh, cool, yeah.
Which was a lot of fun. So I was actually kind of curious. Have you seen any of the latest summer blockbusters yet?
I have not, man. I wish. I don't actually go to movies very often. Yeah.
Yeah, the summer blockbusters. Have you seen any ones before that? Any movies this year?
Yeah.
I don't think that I have. Isn't that awful?
There's been a
Oh, no. I saw the Grand Budapest Hotel.
Yes!
Yes.
I was one
Yeah. I saw that.
What'd you think of that?
I loved it, but it's because I'm a huge Ralph Fiennes fanatic since I first saw him in something when I was in high school. I love him, so it was great.
Yeah, I've always loved him. Me and Nico, we always talk about Wes Anderson movies and how wholesome they are. It's not so.
He breaks the rules, like
yeah,
filters and shots and everything. You say never center your shot. He centers all his shots.
Yeah.
All his shots are centered.
I love it. Fantastic Mr. Fox, Bottle Rocket, it was so awesome.
Black Park is one of my favorites. But Grand Budapest was really good.
I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, right.
So we also noticed that when we went down
it's really awesome. I love working on it. It's tough with Street Fighter because the files exist in Japanese already, and you have to do the exact same time as them. Well, the performance is your time constraints dictate what you can do with your performance. So it's like you have to say this, but the sound file can only be this long. It has to fit to the same slot in English as it does in Japanese. So that's tricky. But I guess once you get the hang of it, it's cool. And Street Fighter 4 has just been wonderful. So I've done 4 Street Fighter 4 games already. And most recently, it's been announced that I play DeCapri, who's the new character for Street Fighter Ultimate. So she's a camming clone, but she's very different from Cammy. So I've done scenes with myself as British and Russian.
That's pretty cool. Is there anything going down the pipeline you want to talk about or plug in?
Not that I can say. I'm working on some really exciting things. but I can't talk about them.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
It's understandable.
I was actually enjoyed.
Oh, I'm glad.
I watched the Japanese and English. I thought they both pretty good.
I think that, well, I would hope so. I mean, I'm the director. That was the plan, to make it as good in English as it is in Japanese.
The director talked about that. I just noticed, like, you know, you use some Japanese terms in that show for, like, English accent. So you had, like, you know, little keys, like, in the show that help, like, translate and stuff. But, do you think that there could have been, like, maybe like, translated to English? Because I saw that show and I thought, like, this could have been, like, on a network maybe. Like,
I don't think so. Nope, I don't think so, not at all. I think that the stuff about the twins and the girls liking the idea of twincest and stuff would not fly on American television. And also the idea of a host club is so extremely Japanese that there's no way that they could have. It's not just a reversion, and you were supposed to pretend that it's somehow taking place in the United States, a la Case Closed, Detective Conan. It's just not. The host club is far too Japanese of a concept. So that's why I was cool with using words like senpai and some other Japanese things, because we're not trying to. Who are we trying to kill? You know?
and that vocabulary, it's used in the games now.
Yeah.
Maybe senpai will notice.
Yeah.
Of course. That was always So, in my case, I started doing recordings. I'm slowly getting some work as an early actor. And I know there are some people who would be curious about who started, because, you know, now this is an industry where we have to do a lot of stuff at home. You know, we don't know how to studio. Do you actually have a home setup and any tips?
I don't have a home setup. Just because I just don't. I would like to have one, actually have the equipment, I just haven't got it all together. I don't have an agent either for voice acting, so that's another reason. Like, if I had an agent who was getting other interviews, not interviews, auditions and stuff, then that would be something that would be necessary.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what role did you enjoy most of, like, what role did you enjoy playing?
Definitely Haruhi in Oron. She's my favorite.
I like that one. You know, I even was like, when I'm trying to remember, like, when I first saw the show, did I watch it in English or Japanese first? But anyway, I was like fooled. I thought she was a dude the first episode too, and I was like, that came as a shock, just like as the rest of the characters. I'm like, oh, well, I might watch the second episode now.
You know, I did start watching Orange Eyes, and I actually enjoyed it. You know, it gave me some interesting ideas for character development. Especially, I mean, I'm still fresh out of my acting courses, and I'm still trying to find some inspiration for character work. And, you know, just the stuff you guys do at Funimation, it's always a lot of fun. You know, I've always been the guy that kind of expected to see myself on radio or stuff like that. You know, now that I got this opportunity with Funimation, I'm having a lot of fun. You know, I'm really hoping I can be a part of something like that.
Yeah, I hope so too.
But,
Last question you really want to ask? That's
One last question, and it's just a fun question. What movie made you cry? Ever?
Oh my gosh. You know what? This is a weird one. The first time I can recall being in a movie theater and crying at a film, I was quite young, but my mother took me to see the movie Gettysburg, which is very long.
Yes.
And I was probably 10, 11 years old, and I bawled my head off.
That's
A war movie.
Well, I know you got to get to your panel, so we'll wrap up here. Yeah. It was a lot of fun having you here, Caitlin.
Thanks for having me, guys.
All right, guys, this is the MythWits at A-Kon 25. Have a good one.
You've just enjoyed the MythWits. Join us for a live broadcast next week and every week, Mondays at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you miss our live show, you can always catch the encore episodes and the podcast version at our website and on iTunes. Make sure to check out our website at mythwits.com, and of course visit us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and iTunes. MythWits is a Studio187.com production and is protected under an attribution, non-commercial, no derivatives, Creative Commons work. You can download and share it with whoever you like. Just don't change it and don't try to make money with it. Make sure to check out Studio187.com for more cool stuff.